What's up, everybody, man? Back. Welcome to a brand new video, and today we're going to be doing another Godzilla Kong The New Empire Playmates figure review. That's right, in this one we will be reviewing the new Playmates Kong Real Feel, one of the sillier gimmick Playmates figures they've done, and one of the ones I was most curious about. So let's get this guy open and check him out. Before we get into the review here, if you could like and subscribe, that would be fantastic. It is the fastest way to support this channel. Also, this channel is growing so fast. Join now today by subscribing so that we can keep that momentum going and keep pushing until we can get 101,954 subscribers so that we can have 1954 back in the sub count for just a second. And then we're gonna pass that and go well beyond, right? Right? Let's get to the review. That's right, in today's video, we are going to be unboxing and reviewing the new Playmates Kong Real Feel. Now, they do have a Godzilla one of these as well, which I'm very curious to get a hold of. I'll talk about my thoughts on what I think that should feel like towards the end of this video. I haven't found it yet, so I don't have it, but I've got the Kong Real Feel, and I wanted to check him out. Starting off, this is the first Playmates figure I've reviewed since they've done the brand switch with the boxes, and I love it. Playmates killed it with these boxes. It's beautiful. The blue is just such a cool MonsterVerse color. They've done a really good job implementing the pink back into it. It looks awesome. I love that you've got Godzilla, Kong, Mothra's great to see. The Ion freaking Dragon from Monarch Legacy of Monsters is so hype, as well as King Ghidorah. It really feels like a celebration of the MonsterVerse, also teasing that they're probably going to do an Ion Dragon and a King Ghidorah, which I am so excited about. Although, didn't they already do a King Ghidorah? I could swear they did. Hey, if they do another one, you won't hear me complaining. I'm looking at him. He's on my shelf. I definitely reviewed him, but I'm still excited for hopefully more. And then Kong on the box looks fantastic. They've got enough of that pink GXK color to really feel GXK, and then the rest of it just looks really cool as well. Here's Kong running in action. There's the Godzilla Kong logo. On the back, you've got the Kong. It's just the image of him, and then you've got a little bit of a description as well as some of the upcoming figures, including that they're re-releasing the Mechagodzilla with Proton Scream and then the Godzilla Evolved Real Feel. I would love to get my hands on that. The back of the box description says, armed with a prototype battle gauntlet that enhances his earth-shattering primal strength, Kong roars into battle, packing a meteor impact with every punch. And then there's the dude. So let's get him out. How odd. Oh man, he's kind of like softer than I thought he was gonna be. And I'm not talking about the fur. I'm not talking about the fact that there's like fur over him. I'm talking about the fact that you can kind of move him and he's kind of bendable. Oh, weird. He's kind of bendable in ways that I wasn't expecting. Oh, he's so fascinating. His fur is so dark. He's like pure black. It's like throwback to when they did the Godzilla vs. Kong line. And they started with this dude and tried to tell me like that's what Kong looks like in Godzilla vs. Kong. That's what Playmates thought he looked like. You've come a long way from when you used to release absolute slop. Good on you guys. I don't know if this one's like the greatest example, but they have been improving quite a lot. Here is the new 6-inch Kong Real Feel from Playmates, and I don't know, it's kind of interesting. I think it's cool that they made this. I think it's a neat gimmick. I really like, as you guys know if you've watched my figure reviews, I really like a toy with a silly or stupid gimmick, and I think this one's quite the silly, stupid gimmick. It's a Kong who's covered in this felt-like texture. It's very clearly like fake felt, fake fur. It's not fur or anything like that. This isn't what Kong would feel like, in case you're wondering. He wouldn't feel anything close to this. Kong would, I bet, have really coarse fur. Like, I don't think he'd be soft at all. I think his fur would be really matted, really coarse, really rough. But this guy, it's kind of like, you know, he actually is pretty rough because it's very clearly that it's like they've just wrapped the normal Kong figure, the Kong skeleton, with this fur, with this felt. 6 inches, so he's like a recreation of the standard Kong from Playmates, and the sculpt is all right. The silhouette looks like King Kong, although I will say it looks a little less like the MonsterVerse King Kong and more like King Kong Lives, especially with how dark the fur is. The fur actually has really decent fur texturing throughout the whole thing. I'm actually pretty impressed with that, and it does carry over some of the muscle textures and details they've added into the legs, which is pretty cool. Going into the foot, they've got the standard Kong toes poking through. On the body, throughout the chest, it's this plastic piece for the chest so that they can have the muscle and the texture. It accentuates the actual texture of the plastic on the chest being a little different than the plastic on the rest of the normal regular Kongs. I gotta admit, holding this figure, the longer I'm doing this review, I'm getting this weird feeling, this cringe throughout my body. Like I'm feeling it, like it's this weird kind of awkward, I guess like tick of mine. Like I'm feeling it in my fingers and I'm feeling it in my teeth and my chest. It's kind of a really odd texture sensation going on that's tripping me out. On Kong's face, I really like the gritted teeth look. It looks pretty cool. I think that's a reuse from their Kong with the axe from Godzilla Kong: The New Empire. Although it does look a little less textured and a little less detailed than the standard Kong faces. Like something's getting a little lost in translation here as they've turned it into this figure. The beast glove overall looks pretty good. It's got a lot of the right details, a lot of the right textures carried over from the standard Kong beast glove, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately though, the straps of the beast glove have been turned into felt like the rest of the arm. Like they just get lost. The same way that they weren't painted on the smaller figures, they're not painted here. The Kong beast glove, the straps of it have been turned into the texture like his felt, like they've been turned into his arm. It's weird. The back of him actually looks really good, despite the fact that there's like bolts sticking out of him obviously. His back has pretty solid muscles throughout it, and it's got really nice fur texturing running all down it. That's the best, most impressive part of it. As far as paint goes, it's about what you'd expect, like this dark fur. I don't know why it wouldn't be bright or brown. It very much should be. Chest looks just like the normal Kong chest, same with the scars. Kong's face looks okay. It's got the nice brown eyes, both looking in the right direction. He's got very nice white teeth as well, which pop. The beast glove, where it is painted very well. The yellow looks great. It's got the text on there very well. I like that they've painted the gears on there. That looks great. Don't know why they didn't color on the inside of the arm or texture it or anything like that. The hands are painted a different color. Same with the feet. They really pop against the fur, but overall kind of standard and kind of lazy. As far as articulation goes, they've limited the articulation like crazy for this figure. So now his legs can kick out. It's a lot more like a Bandai one now. His legs can kick out and his arms can spin around and his head can twist. So you can put his head upside down if you'd like, and that's it. So whereas typically Playmates is absolutely killing it and blowing me away with the articulation on these Kong figures, simply due to the nature of this one, they've really limited it to 5 points of articulation with the legs, the arms, and the head, and that's it. Very standard for a children's toy. This thing was still only 10 bucks, so I'm not disappointed. It was still a $10 figure. That's how a lot of $10 figures are. Getting into our figure comparisons here, I just kind of wanted to run through all the different textures. Here's the Kong 2017 from Playmates. This was released, I believe, in 2019 or 2020. This Kong 2017 from Kong Skull Island is a lot harder of a plastic than the standard Playmates one, a lot more hollow, and then the arms are like really rubbery. It's this very odd material that I'm glad they never went with again. It's very different than all of their other figures, but it kind of adds to like the range of texture that these figures are going to have. With Godzilla vs. Kong, they kind of got into their groove here. Here's the Godzilla vs. Kong standing up against the real feel Kong. He's still got the harder plastics, and they never totally do away with that, but the arms are now more of a softer plastic, kind of a bridge between that rubbery feel and the soft plastics that they land on. Looking pretty cool. And then here's obviously his base point, the inspiration being the Kong with the beast glove. Looking pretty cool standing next to each other. I'm glad that they differentiated the heads between them because it makes them pop a whole lot more. And then this Kong from Playmates I just think is actually a really, really solid figure. I don't know too much else you could do with it. The textures are great. It's kind of a mix between a soft plastic and a hard plastic, which is really nice, and it carries through the whole body that way. So there's the range of the Kong figure textures we get from Playmates. I don't have the real feel Godzilla from Playmates, but I do have this one, which is the Titan Evolution Godzilla in the rubber skin. There's Godzilla and Kong. This is kind of exactly what you'd think a real feel Godzilla would feel more like. Kind of rubbery, like the real suits would have felt in real life, latexy. Now we can get into an epic fight. Do you guys think that Kong with the Beast Glove could beat the 2021 Godzilla? Comment below and let me know, and argue amongst yourself. It's really good for the channel's engagement. My honest take, I actually do think he would. There they are, looking really goofy next to each other. Like I said, I kind of dig it when Playmates does these very gimmicky figures, especially this one. The only other like real feel Kong type thing I have is a Funko Pop felt Kong, which I've never opened before, so whenever I get that, I'll have to compare them. Overall, the texture is weird. It's kind of rougher than you'd want it to be. It's kind of sandpapery, doesn't feel great to rub your hands against. It's a pretty good sculpt. It's a decent paint job, although it really should have been a brighter brown, and I don't know why they're so lazy with the inside straps on the Beast Glove. And then articulation's pretty standard. Overall, this thing's not amazing. It's not blowing me away, but it's pretty much exactly what I thought it would be, and so for that, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10, and I'd recommend it if you've got some disposable income and like your gimmicky figures. Other than that, it's not needed for your collection. Do you have the Playmates Kong Real Feel from Godzilla Kong the New Empire? I'd love to know. Comment down below and let me know what you think of it. As always, I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons over on Patreon. It is through the support of the patrons on Patreon that I'm able to continue to make videos like this for you. If you want to support the Patreon, you can use the link in the description below, where you can get early access to content, access to the Discord community, and more. If that's not your thing, please consider joining as a channel member. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you guys all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you all next time for the next one. D-Man out.